All right, you guys, welcome back to the channel. And my name is Claire Omutoni, your host for today's show. And I remember the other time I told you we are going to do a rating for the World Cup players participating in World Cup for Manchester United players. Now, let's begin this show by actually saying within 17 players that were called up, we have like 12 that are consistent with the starting or even like the substitution. But before we finish the round of 32 in the World Cup and they go to another round, which is going to be cutthroat, we need to talk about their performance. All right. We are going to start with Marcus Rashford. You may say he's not a Manchester United player, but in my books and in United's books, this is his this is still a product of Manchester United, right? He is on a loan. His loan to Barcelona has ended. His future is not decided yet, but he is still part of United. Now, as I just said, I'm going to give him 7 out of 10, and only because his performance was outstanding. All right, with his very like weird cornrows in his head. He was outstanding and I never expected it from him because of the season he's had in Barcelona. Obviously, he won many trophies with the team, but does that mean he was going to perform? And I remember there is this time when they said he's not going to get a call up because he got injured, and he fought against all odds, and now he's really doing an amazing job in the World Cup representing England. Let's get to our goalkeeper, Alte. He plays for Turkey, and Turkey were touted as one of the dark horses for the tournament, but insisted, like when you have a player from your team and then they're playing and the team is not performing very well, and you're like, oh man, I wish they could just do a great job just because there is only one player. And with this guy, without me being biased, please let me know in the comments. I'll give him a 5.10 only because his team did not like perform so well, or maybe they were playing against better teams. I don't know. And then let's get to my favorite right now in the World Cup. That's Mateus Cunha. The Brazil forward has been a danger in the tournament and has scored 3 times now. No, now it's 4. Despite not starting the opening match of the tournament, he now looks to have established himself in the first 11. All right, ahead of Brentford striker Igor Thiago and the fit again Neymar. Cunha will hope his tournament is only just getting started, and I'll just rate him 8 out of 10. If you want to argue with your friends, but 8 out of 10 so far. I'm not going to give him 10 out of 10 because he does not start all the time in Brazil games. And let's go to Diego Dallo. I'll give him 5, and this 5 is only because he's a good escort to Cristiano. What am I talking about? We've seen most of the times like Diego Dallo is adjusting Cristiano's t-shirts. He's giving him water. He's like his kid, like little kid at home. But also the right back has been a consistent starter for United, but cannot force his way in the Portugal lineup. All right, so I'll just give him 5. 5 is not bad. And let's talk about Ahmad, our African king. All right. Ahmad played his part in the Ivory Coast progression to the knockout stages for the first time in their history, and he scored a wonderful and vital winner in the opening game against Ecuador. All right, I'm going to give him 7 out of 10 as I move on to Bruno Fernandes, our captain. Bruno, really in this World Cup, he started on a wrong foot. His team started on a wrong foot. Yes, they last time they scored 5 goals against Uzbekistan, and everyone was trolling Cristiano's like, how are you celebrating a goal against that small country? But again, as I said, a goal is a goal and it counts. All right, and I'm going to give him 6 to just being generous. Okay, and he did not happen. It did not happen for Portugal. When the Portuguese were playing against DRC, they drew 1-1, and really Portugal, they're now they're not fans' favorite. They're not fans' favorite. I may say only because they have the goat in their team, but they're not doing it for me. All right, let's go to Tyler Fletcher and let's call up to the Scotland squad points. Two, how highly regarded as the United prospect is, it was always going to be a tournament of experience, okay, for the midfielder, and he didn't get off the bench as Scotland bowed out in the group stages. He'll get five. He'll get five just for the call up. All right. Now let's get to Senelamens. Senelamens' impressive form for United, but he was never going to outburst Thibaut Courtois because we know there are levels. There are levels to this thing. Sen Elements is doing an amazing job at Old Trafford. He's saving us. He's doing all these, Spider-Man tricks. But in his team, no. So I'll give him 5 out of 10. And then Kobe Meno, a long shot for his tournament 6 months ago. The midfielder was revitalized under Michael Carrick at United. And, Kobe Meno, not so much in England. He's not getting enough time to play. And even if he was to get enough time to play, I don't think he's okay. The best he could have done is being called up, getting a call up. He'll get five, a generous five. And now let's go to Lisandro Martinez. Lisandro Martinez is a center back. And now, like, right now, I'm giving him 7. I'm giving him 7 over Bruno. And I know in the comments you guys are going to roast me, but Lisandro Martinez in the center back is a beast. He is a beast. All right. And then let's talk about Mazlawi. Last night, it was a fun night to watch Morocco win over Netherlands. Oh my God. African in the comments, please put flags. Morocco, they were struggling in the first half. They were struggling. And then uh, this guy from Netherlands who recently lost a child when the wife was still pregnant. What's his name? Cody Gapko. Okay, he scored in the late minutes, and then we're like, okay, it's over for Morocco. But then Morocco, you know, they equalized. They went to extra time, 30 minutes. 30 minutes couldn't decide who is the winner. They went to penalties, and then you know Netherlands was out. So I'm going to give Mazlawi 7.10, judging from last night's performance. And then let's end with Ugarte. Now this guy, he's one of my least ratings, and that being not because he got an injury, no, because of his performance. The World Cup was a chance to put himself in the show window and secure a move, away from United. But now it's not possible because he's now injured. You cannot sell an injured player. But Uruguay, him participating, he really didn't show us so much. So I'm just going to give him 4 out of 10. And I think that brings me to the end of today's show. Like the ratings, it was just a fun and quick chit chat with you guys. And I hope by the time this World Cup gets to like the finals and the semifinals, our players' ratings are going to be higher. Okay, because we cannot sit for 4 and 5. Come on, we are the Red Devils. Come on. Anyways, that was it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. But please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video if you care so that we can become all a big happy family. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.